Hey guys, it's time for another Balls Deep podcast, and today I want to talk about a subject I'm very passionate about, and that is how Tom Brady is overrated. Yes, he's made 8 Super Bowls, and he's won 5 of them. This is a great team accomplishment, but we're going to dive into a little bit of how these Super Bowls really came about, and if Brady deserves credit for them. Now, let's start in 2001 when they beat the Rams in the Super Bowl, but let's start with the AFC Championship game. That's what we're really going to focus on here. And they played the Raiders. This was the infamous tuck rule game where Brady got sacked, he fumbled, but the ref said he didn't fumble because of some rule that isn't even a rule anymore. So somehow the Pats retained possession. They go on, and in a snowy field, Adam Vinatieri kicks the Patriots to the Super Bowl. But let's go back and say that this rule that isn't even a rule now never existed. Tom Brady gets sacked, he fumbles, the Raiders retain possession, and they go on and play the Rams in the Super Bowl. Now in this scenario, I still believe the Rams would win the Super Bowl no matter who they play, because they had a tremendous offense, but we're focusing on Brady here. So that's one Super Bowl down. The next is when they played the Eagles, and let's focus on the Eagles here, because Terrell Owens played in the Super Bowl. He actually tore his ACL that season, missing a lot of games, but he returned for the Super Bowl. He actually had to sign a waiver because no Eagles doctor would clear him. This waiver basically stated if he gets hurt, he can't sue the Eagles because he wasn't physically cleared to play. And this dude went on a tear during that game. He had like 9 catches, 130-some yards, and a touchdown. Now, I'm all for Cinderella stories. This would have been huge. The star, many people thought diva receiver, comes back to help his team, playing in the biggest game of his career. I think they should have won just on story alone. And back then, early in his career, Donovan McNabb was one heck of a quarterback. So in that, the Eagles could have won out, because in reality, if you look at the game, it was very close. The Patriots won again by an Adam Vinatieri field goal. And next, let's get to the Panthers versus Patriots Super Bowl. And here, I'm giving this one to Brady just because I can't imagine a world where Jake Delhomme is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, even though, again, he was bailed out by an Adam Vinatieri field goal. Okay, so in my scenario, Brady has 1 Super Bowl out of 3 tries. Seems like a pretty good world so far. Next, let's go to the perfect season. The Patriots are 17-0. They cruise into the playoffs, or cruise through the playoffs, and play Eli Manning's Giants in the Super Bowl. And it's a close game. The Giants' defensive line is getting to Brady all game, and David Tyree makes that insane helmet catch over Rodney Harrison, and Eli Manning beats Brady. And Manning, as they always do, they beat Brady, except early in Peyton Manning's career, but I'm not holding that against him. Eli beats Brady, and he drops another one. And as history as it is, the Giants actually won this one, so that's all good there. Fast forward a few more seasons, they meet up, but Eli doesn't have as good of a defense as Michael Strahan is retired, and he doesn't have David Tyree on his side, but Mario Manningham comes to the rescue, makes an insane sideline catch, and again, Eli beats Brady. Brady is now 1 for 5. Ooh, his legacy's not looking too good right now, boys and girls. Next up, let's go to the Falcons and Patriots Super Bowl matchup, and this, I just have to say, is poor game management. The Falcons were up 28-3 with literally 3 minutes left in the third quarter. And Dan Quinn, I just gotta say, you don't take your foot off the gas. Don't start running the ball and making dumb plays, passing when you shouldn't pass. Don't change your offense for one game, please, especially when the other quarterback is Tom Brady. You can't take your foot off the gas. So I believe if they had a competent coach, or even a competent coach in the situation, I'm very high on Dan Quinn. I think he's a great coach. He just had a horrible game. So I'm giving this one, if he actually has an even keel game like he usually does, the Falcons don't blow that big lead, and Brady drops another big one. Next up is the Seahawks game, and I'm just going to glaze over this one and say give Marshawn Lynch the ball. In that situation, I understand with the time remaining and how many timeouts the Patriots would have had. Yeah, they probably would have had to pass the ball at least once. But at least give it to Marshawn first. This dude is a beast. You don't get the name Beast Mode if you aren't a fantastic player. And he is a power runner more than speed, which is an asset on the goal line. You literally had to get a yard. Give it to Marshawn. Pete Carroll isn't in such hot water going into this season because he does have 2 Super Bowl rings instead of 1, and just as the world should be, Brady loses another one, and the world would have been a better place. Now let's go to the second act in the Eagles Super Bowl, where again, plays out like it should. Brady doesn't catch the pass, Nick Foles does, and then late in the game, Derek Barnett recovers a Brady fumble. On the first sack of the game, Brady loses. And Brady, suddenly, in the Nick Wood universe, or the Balls Deep podcast universe, let's call it, I like that name better, Brady is literally 1 for 8, and the only reason that is because I can't stand the fact, or the thought of Jake Delhomme winning a Super Bowl. Brady's overrated, guys. Look at it. If he wasn't bailed out by Adam Vinatieri, he would just be another Trent Dilfer who was carried by his team to win a Super Bowl. Actually, I like Trent Dilfer. Let's change that to Brad Johnson, because Brad Johnson and that Bucs defense, I'm sorry. I just can't do that to Trent Dilfer. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks, but you get the point. Tom Brady's overrated. Guys, if you hate Brady as much as I do, or if you like him, tell me in the comments why. But if you dislike him, give this video a like. Thanks for watching, guys.